Hi guys, African protagonist here with another video, and this is a follow-up video on what we spoke on last time regarding the Kenyan government's involvement in the conflict in Yemen and the arrest and subsequent prosecution of the Houthi rebels that are kind of the de facto government right now in Yemen. So it has been officially confirmed. It was on the news this week that the Kenyan government is going to be instrumental in the prosecution, the arrest and prosecution of Houthi rebels that will be arrested by the EU and the American government. Now, what does this mean for Kenya's short-term and long-term security needs? Why do superpowers like the Americans and the European Union that have more powerful and more capable militaries than us, why do they feel the need of using Kenya as a launching point throughout the region in East Africa and even to now to the Middle East? And this is because these guys have been preparing us for a while now. This is not something that they woke up one day and decided we are going to use Kenya. As many can recall, since we went to Somali to pursue the Al-Shabaab, our training for our soldiers has been coming from the US and Britain primarily. Most of our special units, our special forces, and even our infantry units have been trained by the British here in Kenya, in Laikipia, and in many other smaller military bases around the region. Now, as far as we've been told for the last 10 years or so, they have been giving us this training to help us combat the Al-Shabaab. But somewhere along the way, they realized that they can use our talents and our men, our boots on the ground to execute other missions within the region. Now, America, since their withdrawal from Afghanistan, has been quite hesitant of sending boots on the ground in any other conflict in the world. There has been a lot of outcry from the American public that they do not want their sons and daughters going to die in foreign conflicts halfway around the world. So what the US has discovered is that with willing partners such as Kenya and other allies, Kenya has now been named a major non-NATO ally to the US. What people don't understand is that NATO is not a trade organization. NATO is a military alliance. And by them terming us a major non-NATO ally, that's a military term. So that means we are a major ally to them militarily speaking. So what does this mean for the Kenyan security short term and long term? How will the Houthis react to this? Because they are now the de facto government in Yemen. They are not just rebels or insurgents, as some of you may believe, but the Houthis are actually the de facto government in Yemen with major striking capabilities. We have seen in the war in Gaza that the Houthis have the capacity to even launch rockets and missiles all the way to Israel. Now, does the Kenyan government have air defenses that are capable of defending against these guys? We don't know. We'll keep updating you here on the African Protagonist podcast. We'll keep updating you on how the developments are going. But it's something that Kenyans need to watch carefully, especially now that even the US has confirmed that they are going to be building a 10,000 foot military runway in Manda Bay in the coast, which will probably be used instrumentally in the fight against the Houthis and Al-Shabaab, because from that air base, all aircrafts of all sizes in the military can be launched. Even heavy bombers can be launched from there. So the direction of our nation is taking, it appears, other than Haiti and Yemen, the US government and the EU can now call us up at any moment for us to maybe engage in conflict and even do law enforcing services all over the world, basically. Because Haiti is half a world away, Yemen is just next door, and we are being sent to both. So Kenyans need to watch this space. Our legislature, our leaders in the parliament and senate also need to keep the executive in check. Everything needs to, we need a feasibility study for everything. Even when we were going to fight the Al-Shabaab in Somalia, we didn't just go. Studies were made, intelligence was gathered, and we also need to evaluate what is this really for our interest as a nation, or is it for American and European interest? Thank you.